Peace, family. Street Media TV out here in the hood on the blocks. I want to talk to y'all about something. You know, I made videos in the past where I talked about after the death of Dr. King in '68 and his brother in '69, from 1970 into now, what has the black community ever accomplished? You know, in 2023 here, we're still talking about, when we talk about our greats, we're still talking about Dr. King, Malcolm X, Martin Delany, Mary Bethune-McLeod, and all these different greats of the past, right? But there's a big gap, right, from 1970 to now, where we don't mention none of these people of this era. What have we accomplished? What have we produced? You know, something I talk about our grandmother and grandfather era, World War I, Korean War, World War II era. These were extraordinary, exceptional people. Big Mama and Big Daddy. When Big Mama died, Big Mama left a house, she left some money, she left a lot of things, man. Our parents, me in my late 40s, our parents' generation, a lot of them, they were the ones that lost the house, that was on drugs, that they didn't pick up the mantle that Big Mama and Big Daddy left during the 50s and the civil rights movement. That generation, our parents' generation, a lot of them failed in a lot of different areas, man, from being caught in the heroin holocaust, the crack holocaust. And when we talk about history and we talk about greats, we mention nobody from our parents' era. Nobody. We produced nothing. Nothing. You know, I'm standing here behind a dilapidated, broken down building here in black communities that where these areas are being gentrified, right? We had whole communities, man. Our grandparents' era, they came up from the South into Chicago and Detroit, St. Louis, Camden, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and they moved into cities, man. They got jobs, man. They moved us up. Man, during the 60s and into the early 50s and 60s, early 70s, black people was okay in a lot of different areas, especially in a lot of cities. We had our own communities and stores and everything, man. When Big Daddy started to die and Grandmama started to die, our parents' generation, they sold everything, man. They sold everything. Some generation, some of our parents and moms and them, they went off to college. They moved out of the black community and they went into what you call the uppity class, and moved away from black folks and moved closer to white folks and created your coon class and all these different things. We totally abandoned everything that Big Daddy and Big Mama fought for us to have our own, for us to be separate, right? Separate but equal, to be able to compete. A lot of our parents' generation abandoned that, man. A lot of them got hooked on crack or heroin. They sold Big Mama house or lost the house, right? All the way to the point where today we got sanctuary cities where now we're being pushed out of the communities that we once owned. Certain avenues here in Philadelphia, man, in the 60s, all that was all black. The stores was all black. They was all black. 70s, all black. Now, so I'm not saying that white supremacy didn't exist and white supremacy wasn't against us, but during Big Mama and them era, they understood who the enemy was and they understood what they was fighting for. So we always pull up the Immigration Act of '65 and the Civil Rights Movement and all that. But since 1970, what have we done to add on to that? A lot of y'all like quoting Dr. King and Malcolm X and like I said, Delany and all these people. But if Malcolm X was alive or Martin Luther King was alive today, they'd be very disappointed. All y'all that's watching me now, right, especially you men, raising your sons. You raise your son and you would want your son to be 10 times, 100 times greater than what you ever was. So now when you quote Dr. King going back, but you ain't producing nothing, or the generations after him has produced nothing, Dr. King would be very upset because Dr. King would want us to add on to the platform, the template he left. What have we done? We supposed to be Dr. King times 50. We supposed to be Malcolm X times 50. We supposed to be Medgar Evers times 50 today. But no. So all we do is we go back and we quote them, but we ain't done nothing. We ain't accomplished nothing. HBCUs, where are the graduates every year that come back to the black community to produce? Who's laying down and adding on to what Carter G. Woodson left behind? Huh? But yet and still, we always like to quote these black titans of the past, but we ain't done nothing. We ain't added on. All of these buildings are being broken down and dilapidated, and foreigners are coming in and buying them up. and pushing you out. So now, all of those people, Barbara Johns, Benjamin Hooks, so many other people, their names are left in vain. Erased, memories erased from history. And we like to pull them up whenever we want to sound like we saying something decent. But other groups know that we full of crap. It don't make no sense. It don't make sense. We were supposed to add on and build upon the platforms that they left for us, man. But we rather go to these white universities, make them richer. We don't want to do nothing for ourselves, man. Our grandmother's era was the greatest, some of the greatest, and back was the greatest people we ever knew, man. Big Mama, you can give her all the money in the world. She's not leaving her community or her people, man, because she understood the struggle and what the fight was for. As soon as they give you $10, you can't wait to run away from your people to run over to them other groups. You can't wait. And this is what goes on in our communities, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. And this is the stuff that I be trying to explain. This is the stuff that I be trying to explain to our people, man. We too lukewarm, man, in the black communities to the point where there is no community. We're done. We had people, man. We had inventors, man, that damn near invented everything, man. We had so many people, man. Emmett Chappelle, Dr. St. Elmo Bradley, Dr. Leonidas, man. With so many people, man. Charles Henry Turner. I mean, just greats. But what about the people now? Where are they? Where are they? The more and more you got the illusion of being free, the more and more you believe that you don't need each other. While other groups is coming right into your community and outperforming you within 5 years, you're done. You're done. What are they going to say about us in the next 10 years? What have we left or built? What have we left or built for our children, man? Huh? What have we left or built for our children? Big Mama and Big Daddy, man, when they was going through racism, when they was getting hung, they was thinking futuristic. Big Mama and Big Daddy was thinking futuristic. Everything that they was doing for the generation of today. Carter G. Woodson, all of them. Everything that they was doing for the generation of now. When you think of the past and bring up the past. But when they was building for the future. They knew that I wouldn't make it, but I'm gonna do it for my grandchildren would make it. When you talk, all you talk about is the past. That's why we produce nothing going forward. Nothing. We have nothing in these communities no more. And when you do get something, you can't wait to go sit next to white folks who historically never wanted you around them in the first place. You have no idea of competing as a group like other groups do. So I'll end it and say it again. Our grandparents and great-grandparents thought futuristic. When you think of the past, not moving forward. So you keep quoting Dr. King and all these different people, but if they was alive today, they would be very disappointed in you. Because he would want you to be better than him. He would want you to take what he laid and be, he would want you to, same way you had Kobe Bryant's father, Joe Jellybean, but he had a son that came in was 100 times greater than what he ever was. That's what our grace would want us to be. These are supposed to be our buildings, fixed up. This whole community is supposed to be a bustling community of black people. And then we're supposed to have portraits of the elders that was there before us that plowed the road, that paved the way. And say that they gave us the blueprint. They taught us how to do it. Booker T. Washington, the blueprint. They taught us how to do this. That's what we were supposed to do. Booker T. Washington don't want you quoting him if you ain't take the stuff that he laid and make it manifest. Start thinking futuristic, man. Peace.